Us live. Cousin Kim says she'll be watching.
Hey, Cousin Kim, we are live. Pat Simmons. Oh my goodness, guys. Welcome to the cafe. I am super and super excited. Why? Because I get to hang out with award-winning author Pat Simmons. And guys, you already know, before I allow her to introduce herself to the people, let me just tell you, bam, Accomplices in Love is live and in color. Check out this cover that is like a gorgeous with a capital G. Not only that, guys, if you haven't already read, see, I told Pat Simmons, I said, Pat, you know I got to remind them about Christmas Takeover because this is where it started. But also, guys, she might spill a little bit of tea because y'all know it wouldn't be Pat Simmons if she didn't give us a Christmas book. So you guys, you might get a triple literary cafe today because we have lots of stuff to talk about. So welcome to the cafe, Pat Simmons. Let me just tell you, they are coming on in. Caitlin, all the way from Michigan, is hanging out with us today. And we got from the Georgia area, Helen Gibson hanging out with us on today as well. And of course, Pat, before you introduce yourself, I have to say this. Guys, a like, a tag, and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend to come on down to the cafe because we are hanging out with Pat Simmons on today. We got Robin Pat hanging out with us all the way from Florida. And there she is, boys and girls, alive and in color, Cousin Kim from St. Louis, hanging out with us on today. Now, Pat Simmons, as the people are coming in, my friend, introduce yourself to the people.
Well, for those that don't know me, okay, thanks, Helen. Yeah, I could tell you where all this great came from. Yeah. But thank you, Helen. I am the author of almost 50 titles.
Oh my goodness, Pat. Pat, you know, that is a great accomplishment. And you know, when you hit 50, Pat, you know we got to celebrate. Okay, we gonna have to celebrate.
and you know me is I be stuck, like I was stuck on 30. And so one of my friends said, you've been saying 30 for a couple of years, and I had to go back. And then I'm like, okay, I'm at 40. And then I'm like, you know what? I think I'm inching up to 50. I'm just thankful that from my very first book to this book that I mean, who knew that Park Jameson's son would come on the scene? So I have been writing. My first book came out in 2007. I write Christian romance. A couple years ago, I came out with my Christian fiction, which was spiritual warfare. And I just got approved today for my TikTok shop. So I'll be, okay, I'm going to spill the tea. Y'all. I'm going to spill the tea. Well, I've been approved. So when my TikTok shop opens, I will be having custom bookmarks. And you got to pick.
Check that out. Can we say custom? And y'all already know, Pat Simmons, author Pat Simmons is like the queen of swag, of bookish swag. Okay. And I'm just gonna say I have given her that title, okay? And if I got any amen corners in there, Mama Tony, all those out there, author Pat Simmons is the queen of bookish swag. I mean, from like bookish earrings to keychains to lip gloss to everything you can think of. Author Pat Simmons has some author swag for you. Okay, I love it. I love it. I love it. And Pat, Helen says that that is awesome. Congratulations to you as well. Well, Pat, I know the people is ready for what we got to talk about. If you guys are just joining us, let me just tell you, first of all, just look at this cover and let it like marinate. Okay. Accomplices in Love is live and in color, and we're going to talk about it today. But if you haven't read Christmas Take, okay, let me just say this. Let me put a disclaimer. If you read Accomplices in Love and you haven't read Christmas Takeover, it is okay. Okay, it's okay. Enjoy it. Write a review. But let me tell you, go back to Christmas Takeover, because me and author Pat Simmons, we had a conversation offline. Because see, what had happened was Pat Simmons left me on a cliffhanger. I said, "Really, Pat? That's how you gonna do me?" And then I had to wait I had to wait a couple of months. Okay. But child, let me tell y'all, it is worth the wait.
Yeah.
Accomplices in Love. I absolutely loved it. I shared that with Pat Simmons. After I finished it, and Pat Simmons knows this because I shared this with her, I couldn't get enough. I had to go back and read Guilty of Love. The first book in the series, I was like, Pat, I can't get enough of them. I got to go back and read book 1 in this series. Now, Pat, speaking of that, this cover is gorgeous, my friend. What was that like for you when you saw the final cover? Please spill the tea.
I wanted something different because covers are always changing. Hi, Myra. Covers are changing. You know, they have caricatures, they have scenic, they have our Black folks on it. You know, my intercessory series doesn't have that. And so it was hard to find out what the trend was going to be. And I just knew that, you know, this cover right here is what Moody Publishers, when they had their Lift Every Voice imprint, this is the template they used. Well, 14 books later, and the next generation, they needed something fresh.
Okay.
And I just needed something different to start off their series. And so you got to have the right illustration.
Yeah.
If you don't have the right illustration, it's not going to pop. And when I saw this, because my character is African-American and Latino, Latino, and I'm like, perfect. And she's just beautiful. And I said, go with it. And when he finished it, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Pat, I remember when you did the cover reveal, guys, let me just tell you, yes, this is definitely a wow factor cover that I fell in love with when I saw it. I mean, y'all, just look at it. But Pat, in addition to that, you know, we got to talk about this title. And of course, guys, if you've already read it, the title would definitely make sense. But Pat, tell us about that. Accomplices in Love. Was this your working title or did it kind of evolve?
It was my working title and the story evolved. I mean, and that's honest. One thing about the Jameson legacy, it started off as the Guilty series. And then when I got to Moody, it became the Jameson legacy. Okay. But because it was the Guilty series, everything was connected to guilt. Like the second one was not guilty. The third one was still guilty. My imagination was very limited. Then we went to the acquittal, guilty by association, free from guilt, and Grandma BB, contempt. So to follow in that vein of what I can do, I thought about Accomplices. Yeah, she's a hot mess. I thought about, should I change the cover as well as following in that suit? And Accomplices in Love was originally supposed to be them not getting to, no one knows that they were working undercover in their relationship. But as I began to write the story, that wasn't it. It evolved, that everyone was pulling.
Hey, Val.
Everybody was pulling for them. So they became the accomplices versus the other way around when I started. And let me just say, I did redeem myself. Y'all see how thick this book is so that Angela would not complain.
She did well, y'all know Pat has to give us a Christmas book, and it was like a novella or what have you. And so, of course, she as she said, she redeemed herself. As you can see how thick this is, Accomplices in Love. Oh my goodness. Now, Pat, one of the things that I love about Accomplice in Love, you know, I'm a trope kind of girl. And y'all, let me just tell y'all, Pat gives us siblings best friend. And not only did she give us one, but it's a double siblings best friend. And not only that, Pat also dabbles a little bit with happily ever after for now. Yeah. So I was like, okay, Pat, I see you stretching. I love it. But Pat, what was that like for you to dabble a little bit into that siblings best friend trope?
Well, anyone that has read the Guilty series knows that the Jameson well, I said Guilty series, but the Jameson legacy, they know that the Jamesons are the family you want next door.
Pat, do you see Robin's message?
You would have been held with Timothy.
I love it,
Robin! The pressure! The pressure. Well, yeah, Grandma BB, that's all her title. That she don't have to share that title. Well, I mean, the Jameson family is used to family. You yourself said you went back to book 1 because you couldn't get enough of the Jamesons. The Jamesons are people you want to be your next door neighbor.
Yeah.
The Jameson men are the men that you want your daughters to marry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and so, and now I've just forgot the question.
We were just talking about you dealing with the siblings best friend trope, and you did it so well.
Because my attention span be 30 seconds. Mama told me don't say nothing because she know I'm telling the truth. But anyhow, when we're dealing with Cammie and her sister Victoria, that same strong family structure is in there. And for Pace, who loves his sisters, he loves his sisters.
Yes.
And when he met his sister's best friend, it was perfect.
Yes.
It was perfect. It was perfect. So he thought.
It
was perfect. I mean, she's beautiful. She's not shy. She gets along with my sisters. They're best friends. And, the first person that I brought to the table, they didn't like. And so, of course, they will approve. Of course.
Pat, she didn't make the cut. Okay, first of all, when she came to Grandma's BB mock funeral, she didn't make the cut. She didn't make the cut.
No, she didn't make the cut, and I didn't really know if she was going to make the cut when I was writing it. But I mean, everything was perfect because he didn't need to get their consent. This was their best friend. Everything was going to work out, but. What happens when best friends fall out? How does that affect a romantic relationship? But I just think it made a stronger story because, I mean, the question that I asked when I was writing the book, does your best friend have to know all your secrets? And that is really what carries the plot for most of the story, because that was the source of contention, because Harmony wasn't getting what she needed from her best friend, so she went to the brother. And Pace is like, I don't get in between my sister stuff. He played the safe, but then he went to his sisters and said, y'all need to figure this out.
Y'all need to work this out because y'all messing with my get together. Okay, fix it. But Pat, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, and you mentioned that question. I mean, guys, hey, put it in the comment section. Pat has posed a question in this book, and it, like she said, it carries the plot throughout. Is your best friend privy to know everything, or what have you? And of course, if you have been following the Jamesons or what have you, know a little bit about Cammie and Victoria's story and the backstory, or what have you. But one of the things that I know Pat and I talked about, okay, let me just put this out there. Pat and I had a little mini book discussion on our own. Like when I finished reading it, I had a whole discussion with Pat, analyzing this story. But one of the things is Pat dealt with in Accomplices in Love, not only is there like a romantic relationship, you have family relationship, you have friendship relationship, and not giving too much away, there is a part in here where it's almost like she's almost, I don't want to say mourning, but when her and her best friend fall out, I mean, she's having a moment. Like she feels like a part of her is missing, because I mean, these are like her best friends. These are her close friends. So even though it wasn't a romantic relationship, on the level of friendship, she was actually grieving. Is that the right word, Pat? I guess she was like grieving their friendship. Cause I mean, y'all, they really had like a falling out. They weren't really talking like that. Or what have you. And so, Pat, I'm glad that you kind of tapped into that to show the different types of relationships that
Right.
we have. And again, what was that like for you to kind of delve into that? Because that was some kind of like that was kind of deep, you know, and it was also
Yeah.
relatable because I know I've been in some friendships where, you know, you thought that you would be friends with these people for forever, and then something may happen and it's like, wow, you do have a little grieving moment. What was that like for you to tap into that?
You know, when I write my books, I try to relate. I try to make it relatable where I, you know, situations that I've heard or I've dealt with or I've witnessed. And so I try to create a very emotional relationship because I was friends with this person for a long time. I mean, real close friends. And I won't even say we had a falling out, but something happened. And to this day, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
And to this day, and it took, you know, I I think the person thought it was okay for whatever reason, but I had to allow God to for me to heal. And I do think for girlfriends, you know, having that close best friend, that is something because this is the best friend you talk to every day.
Every
You got a
day.
problem, you need a prayer partner. And I had to really learn what friendship was. And I saw Myra said that, you know, she's been friends for over 50 years and that friend doesn't know everything. But I mean, it's a question out there. And I really wanted to minister to the women because I've seen posts and stuff on Facebook to women that have lost that best friend and really to move on. But in this particular case, you know, they reconcile without putting too much. But I mean, but it's real. Your best friend sometimes has been with you longer than you've been married.
Yeah.
And so then you have to go back and define what a friendship is for you. Should your best friend know everything about you? You know, you gotta be careful. Everybody can't be your best friend.
Okay, guys, if you're just joining us, we are hanging out with award-winning author Pat Simmons talking about her new book, Accomplices in Love. And let me just tell you, yes, Pat will be sharing a snippet with us on today. Not only that, guys, we will definitely be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of Accomplices in Love. And let me just tell you, it is available in ebook, it is available in print, and yes, I have it in both formats. Same thing with Christmas Takeover. If you haven't read that, grab that one as well. And of course, like I said, a little bit later, we'll give you a little snippet or a little talk. We'll talk a little bit about this one as well. Now, Pat, can you share with us, when you think about the characters, I mean, you have Harmony, and of course you got Cammy, and you got Victoria, you got Pace Jameson, who you just have to love Pace. And of course, you get a little more of Harmony's family in this one as well. For this one, is there a character in Accomplices in Love that was the most interesting for Pat Simmons to write? And then on the flip side, is there a character, or could be more than one, that was a little more complex with this story? Because I know some of the Jamesons, of course, they make appearances and what have you. Before some of the main characters in this one, is there one that was the most interesting? And then on the flip side, one that was a little more complex. So two-part.
Well, Harmony was complex. You know, she wasn't one-dimensional. She was happy, she was sad, and she was faithful.
Yeah.
She was faithful. We may not talk, but it's like, but you ain't gonna talk about them. That's because we ain't friends. I ain't gonna let you talk about them.
She got her straight quick, and I love that. It was like she nipped that in the bud real quick.
Yeah, because sometimes people just want to know your business and they just want to talk about somebody. But I mean, I think that's just part of me. You know, I think that was just me coming out. I may not be your friend, but I ain't gonna let you sit up here and talk about my ex-friend.
Yeah.
You know, that type of thing. So she was complex because she was hurt.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I name all these characters and I can't think of the character, but Pace's cousin. the
Ooh.
Robnet, the firefighter.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
I can't. Lawson was his brother, but I can't think of his name. I don't know if it was. No, that was Lawson. Baby, baby, baby. Wait till I write his story.
Oh, Pat, you spilling a little tea? Are you spilling a
Yeah,
little tea?
come on now. How would you like to be rescued?
Woo! By that firefighter.
Look, when he came in there and just handed the phone, here, cuz.
Right.
Girl, Lawson got a story. I cannot wait.
Y'all, I don't know if you heard what I heard, but it sounds like Pat Simmons was spilling a little tea. Okay, I love that. And Pat, I love how you wrote these characters of Jameson men. I love the trip, guys. Let me just tell you, and we'll get Pat to share a little bit about it too. But one of the things with this, because guys, think about it, these individuals, this is like their last year in school, they're finishing up college, so they're young. So it's young love, or what have I think, Pat, correct me, they're around 23-ish.
Yeah, when they graduate, 22,
yeah,
23.
They're somewhere around there. But Pace, being the Jameson man that he is, he knows what he wants. Knows what he wants so much that he moves. I'll just tell, we'll give you that little bit of tea. Let's just say he moves, okay, to Chicago. And things change. But Pat, there was like some major decisions that had to be made. And I love how you incorporated how sometimes we still have to, talk to God about it, discuss it, or what have you. But talk about that a little bit, about of how these individuals, they are still growing, or what have you. And of course, Harmony not wanting to move too fast. She know that she was falling for Pace, but she didn't want to move too fast. But then also with Pace growing up, but knowing he knew what he wanted, or what have you. Talk a little bit about that in the relationship.
Well, I mean, Pace is his daddy's son.
Mm-hmm.
When Park came on the scene, Cheney was nothing like what he thought he wanted.
No, but she was not.
She was nothing. But once he realized he was attracted to her, he was all the way in.
Yeah.
So it just made sense his son was just like him. But to me, he's even stronger than his dad. With his conviction, he's even stronger, And I mean, I guess, and this really isn't to answer your question, but I want to just mention it. I have some favorite scenes in there, and just emotional for me is that when he does go to Chicago and the family moves him.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. That as I was writing it.
Wow.
I was writing.
What was that like for you? Because that's Pat, that's one of those scenes in a book where you like, it's a whole moment.
It was because look, I've been with this dude since 2007. I have seen him grow, and for him to get choked up to release his son. Oh my, that scene right there. I mean, that is a scene that I mean, there's so many scenes, but that scene where the parents release their young, and then his younger brother's calling. I mean, just so typical.
Yeah.
Just so typical of younger brothers, like, well, can I come, the first fight, can I come live with you? That just strengthens the Jameson family ties. It just shows how much the brothers looked up to their big brother. But Pace is just so much more magnified than Park, because remember the conversation that he had with Park and Cheney? And he, and he just talks to her like, you the only mom. Oh my gosh. He's just a perfect son.
Yeah. And guys, if you are just joining us, we are hanging out with author Pat Simmons. We are talking about her new release that is hot off the press. It is called Accomplices in Love. And Pat, this is a story that It is definitely all the feels. I mean, you will be on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, even with the decisions that they have to make. Of course, Pat's going to give us that family dynamic. We're going to get the genealogy. I love all of that in this story as well. And of course, guys, I know y'all are ready. I'm going to let Pat get her book and get ready to share with us a little bit of Accomplices in Love. Pat, if you want to set the scene or set the tone of what you're
let me just say, I'm going to defend myself.
Okay.
Before I read, because I know Mama Tony don't have a fit. Mama Tony, I didn't fold the page, but I wrote on the page. Okay.
Mama Tony, we might can take the writing versus the folding of the page. What you say, Mama Tony?
I'm just saying. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Now these are two. I'm just gonna read this.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, so Pace begins to pursue Harmony.
Yeah.
And he's already a saved man, godly man. And Harmony doesn't know what to do with that.
Right.
It's overpowering. So he begins to send her scriptures or inspirational sayings.
Mm-hmm.
So, and so she wasn't responding. So I'm setting this up where Pace was happy. His texts to Harmony were marked red. His heart was concerned about his sister. Cammie said Victoria had become quiet and withdrawn, even from her. If her mental state didn't improve, the entire Jameson clan would descend on campus to give Victoria some tender, loving care. Uncle Philip would turn the campus into a tent meeting for deliverance. Evangelism had been his trademark before he became a pastor. When he walked out of his engineering class, Pace was in deep thought and prayer. He decided to stop by his parents' house before he headed to work. As he climbed inside his car, JC pulled up beside him. Now, JC, baby.
That's a whole nother. I told you got double. Best friends. I love it.
I know people waiting for JC's story. Okay.
We're ready, Pat.
Yeah, pulled up beside him and parked. Hey, buddy. Pace greeted JC with a smile and fist bump and pat on the back before he walked up to him. What's up? Man, preparing for the real world. Everybody good? No, was on the tip of his tongue without thinking, but this was his friend, brother, and confidant. Pace leaned against the trunk of his car and folded his arms. Man, he began with a sigh. I'm worried about Victoria. Fear struck JC's eyes. He stood at attention. He mirrored the reaction Pace would concerning any mention of his family. What do I need to do? What's going on? I could be on the road in an hour. When he paused, something clicked and JC's demeanor changed. She didn't mention anything when I talked to her. Pace processed the tidbit. He had spoken to my sister? The best Pace could do was hope Harmony read his text. When did you last talk to her? He watched his friend, hoping there wouldn't be any signs that he was withholding any information. We talk a couple times a week. Of course, I give Cammie her 5 minutes of attention. The friends chuckled together before Pace said, of course, she would not be denied any attention. Basically, we talked about our childhood. JC slipped his hands into his pocket while Pace made himself comfortable because he wasn't going anywhere. Let's go to the coffee shop for a sandwich. We need to talk, or maybe I need to listen. So I'm just going to stop right there.
Guys, there you have it. She gave us a little bit of Accomplices in Love. We will be sharing with you how you can get your hands on a copy of this story of all the feels, guys. Let me just tell you, you will enjoy. And Pat, I want to talk about this a little bit before we play a round of this or that, my friend. I love that whole family dynamic of when the cavalry was needed. And let me just say, there was no miles that was too far. I mean, when the cavalry was needed, the cavalry was coming. I just say that the cavalry was coming. And I'm sure for you, with some of those scenes, it was fun to write when the cavalry showed up or what have you as well. So I wanted to let the people know that, again, this is one of those stories by Pat Simmons that there is moments where you will be on the edge of your seat. There is moments that the characters are vulnerable. There is moments that pull at your heartstring, but it's an all around good story. Now, Pat, of course, we have to play a quick round of this or that, my friend. We're going to do fall edition. Are you ready?
Okay, Angela.
All right, Pat. Okay, this is fall edition. Okay, is it warm apple pie or is it pumpkin pie?
Girl, ain't no pumpkin here. You know we doing the apple. Okay, we ain't playing with no pumpkin. Unless they're pumpkin seeds. We ain't playing with no pumpkin.
Okay, Pat, it's fall time. So is it sweater weather or cozy socks? Sweater weather or cozy socks? What you doing?
I had my sweater on earlier.
I love it. Look, Pat, I still got my little cardigan on for a sweater weather. As
I know it was chilly today. It was chilly.
I love it. Now, Pat, are you more of a apple fragrance or apple candle fragrance, like the apple spray or apple candles?
Well, considering I don't use spray, I would have to say candles because my nephew makes fragrance candles.
Oh,
so I got to put that plug in there for him.
I love it. And Pat, you got to tell the people: are you team tea or are you team coffee?
Team tea.
I love it.
Decaf. It's got to be flavored decaf. Flavored.
I love it. Well, thank you, Pat Simmons, for playing a round of this or that for us, guys. I know you guys are ready. There is a giveaway. Pat Simmons is going to share with us what her giveaway on to evening is going to be.
Good. Yeah, I don't even know, y'all. I'm just saying. But y'all know I always give something good. I cannot give you this because I guess I should take it. Well, I should have got the one off the refrigerator. This is a magnet. But this is a heart, and it says, what does it say? Oh, hold on, y'all, because y'all know I don't know what it says. It says, pace and harmony, accomplices in love. So you could put this on your magnet, and it kind of matches the cover. But you get this if you order from Riches in Reading. You get this when you order this book. So I don't know what I should give away. I mean, I don't know what people really want. I mean, I could do a gift card and they could do whatever they want with the gift card.
Okay. Well, sounds good. Well, Pat, there you have it. So let me tell what you guys, okay, and we're going to share with you in a minute how you can get a copy of Accomplices in Love, as well as that wonderful, beautiful heart magnet, where you can get that from as well. Pat is going to give away a card. And with this gift card, of course, Pat is going to be my handy dandy assistant. I'm going to go up and down the comment section. She's going to tell me when to stop, and that person will be the winner of a gift card. Okay, Pat, I'm ready.
Okay, stop.
Okay. Robin Pendleton, she says Pace was young, but he wanted to be in a godly, he wanted to be in a godly relationship, yes, as well. And Robin, you are the winner. So if you would inbox me your email information, I will get that to you. You are the winner.
I got her email.
Okay, she got your email. We'll make sure that you get your giveaway. Congratulations. Thank you so much. And of course, guys, we're getting ready to tell you how you can get your hands on a copy of Accomplice in Love. And one of the places is a Riches in Reading indie bookstore, guys. And as Pat stated, if you order from Riches in Reading, you will be able to get that lovely heart magnet that goes with the book Accomplices in Love. It is also available in ebook as well. So, Pat, where else can they get their hands on a copy of Accomplice in Love? And will it be an audiobook soon?
Yes. I was late turning it in. Bad me. It'll be available on November 5th. Unfortunately, it's coming out late. My fault. Any place online, but I do need to spill the tea. Something else that don't nobody know, not even you, Angela.
Ooh, spill the tea at the cafe, Pat.
The next book will be the first book of the Robinette royalty. with not with a Simmons, with a Jameson crossover.
Okay,
So it's going to be
okay.
a Jameson crossover to the Robinette Royalty, book 1 of that series. So I'm just
wow.
saying.
And guys, let me tell you, if you haven't read it, I'm gonna spill a little tea with Pat. There is, let's just say there is a Robinette family at game night, okay? And there was some Jamesons present for this Robinette family game night, which was amazing. And so Pat just spilled a little bit of tea. I love that, Pat. Thank you for sharing that. The next book will be of the Robinette family with a Jameson crossover. I love that. See, guys, you never know what you're gonna get here at the cafe. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Pat, thank you for sharing where they can get it from. And of course, I did tell Pat, we got to talk about this one, guys. We're going to, before we go, I want to let y'all know that y'all know Pat is going to give us a Christmas story. Pat, I have already started reading. I'm probably about 60% in. Guys, this book is called Every Day is Christmas. Pat, can you tell the little people, just tell them a little bit about Every Day is Christmas and how they can get their hands on it? Because, guys, it just released Tuesday, October 15th. It just came out hot off the press, ebook and print. But Pat, just give them a little bit of what this book is about, and audio.
Well, I just, anyone that has read my Christmas novellas know that I try to make sure that Christ is always in my novellas. I don't do magic or anything like that, but her last name happens to be Christmas. And so Every Day is Christmas is for her, but I like it because they both show that when it comes to charity during Christmas, there's no right way or wrong way.
Yeah.
And so they both have their own idea of what charity is all about. And he has his own idea about charity. And so they clash, but they basically have to learn to understand what the other person is without giving a lot away. What the other person means and feels, and learns that, okay, it's not just my way or the highway. So that's your snippet.
That's a short snippet. And Pat, let me just tell you too, I love the meet cute. Is a super cute meet cute, guys, of how they meet. Oh my goodness, the grandmother, guys. Let me just tell you, you're gonna fall in love with her. Again, Pat pulls at your heartstrings. I am enjoying Every Day is Christmas. As Pat stated, it's available in ebook, audio, and print. It's available now. We will put the link in the comment section as well of how you can get your hands on a copy of this. Pat Simmons, oh my goodness, my friend, the time goes by so fast. Thank you for stopping by the cafe to talk a little bit about your new book, Accomplices in Love. And so, Pat, I want to ask you this, my friend. What did you enjoy about bringing this story to life? Please share that with us.
What I enjoyed was to see the legacy continue. And, when this book was published in 2007, I had no idea it would have the staying power of all these books. I had no idea. So just for me to say that this is Park's son who's grown and branching out on his own, to me is an emotional, because it shows an accomplishment that I've been able. This is book 14 in the series. Who knew? So for me to be able to keep the family strong, but to show the next generation. And that's what this is, the next generation.
The next generation, indeed, indeed.
So people will have the Robinette royalty. And as my characters mature, because, JC is out there, they will continue to have the next generation. There's a method to my madness.
Well, we love it, Pat. And guys, if you're wondering, yes, Grandma BB shows up in Grandma BB fashion. So you will get some Grandma BB in Accomplice in Love as well. I love that. Pat, thank you so much, my friend, for joining us on today. It was amazing. Please share with the people, how can we stay connected with you?
Well, thank you, Angela, because you didn't have to invite me. And all the people that are here, from Caitlin to Mama Tony, Myra, Cousin Kim, and Robin, you don't have to take the time, because you guys kind of get a double dose of us on Friday. But I just appreciate the opportunity to talk about my book, and for those to just take the time out of their day. You can get me at patsimmons.net. not PatSimmons.com, because I think that's the Doobie Brothers, Pat Simmons. Not
Oh,
me.
okay.
Yeah, PatSimmons.net. You can get me on Instagram, and I need followers, so please follow me on Instagram, where it's author Pat Simmons, on TikTok, and I'm getting ready to open up this TikTok shop, so I'm really excited about that. Don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna figure it out. And my TikTok is Christian author Pat. There's no S because I ran out of room. I'm just saying. So that's me, because I set up another one, couldn't remember the password, so I had to do this. I mean, seriously, this is just my world. So on TikTok, it's Christian author Pat, and there's no S, and that's me.
I love that. I love it, guys. Make sure that you are following Pat Simmons, guys. Of course, go to her website, www.patsimmons.net. Let me just tell you, you're going to want to sign up for Pat Simmons' website, on her website for her newsletter. Let me just, when I am out teaching the world about different things, let me just tell you, I use Pat Simmons as a model, especially when I'm telling people about newsletters and authors, why they should have newsletters. I will mention Pat Simmons' newsletter. Okay, so not only is she the author of Queen of Author and Bookish Swag, she is the Queen of Author newsletters. Her newsletter is amazing. So definitely sign up for her newsletter as well. Stay connected with her. Go back and read Guilty of Love. If I'm not mistaken, Pat, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's on sale for 99 cents, the ebook. At least
Yes,
it used to be on sale. Okay.
and if they don't already get my newsletter, if they go to my website and sign up, it automatically downloads that free.
See,
it's 99
there you go.
cents, but you sign up for my monthly newsletter, which, let me just say, in my monthly newsletter, I gave Angela a shout out.
She did. She did.
I gave her
Thank
a
you, Pat.
shout out. I'm just so happy for her. So
She
we're all
did.
friends. We're all friends. We're all friends. So thank you, Angela, for the mention. Thank you so much.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Pat. I have enjoyed talking with you. Guys, if you haven't done so already, definitely make sure that you're following Pat Simmons. We've had an amazing time tonight talking about Accomplices in Love. And definitely make sure you get a copy. And don't forget, tell a friend to tell a friend. And not only that, guys, books make great gifts. So this is a great book as well. And I got to shout it out one more time. Pat's new release that just released this week, Every Day is Christmas as well. Well, Pat, that is our show on today. You know what we're going to get ready to tell the people. Oh, before I do that, you can definitely follow me on social media, Angela Anderson Presents. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Angela Anderson YouTube. And until next time, guys, as we always say, have an amazing day, because we're having an amazing day. And until next time, we'll see you later. But until then, get you a copy of Accomplices in Love. All right, bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.